Hello everybody and welcome to another mod showcase. Today I'm going to be going over Refined Storage by iEmotionless. You can download this add-on over at the Vantage site. There's, as always, a link in the description. Now this is a mass storage device, very similar to something you'd see in Java where you can store tons and tons of stuff in one location. And so this is really good to have for when you've got your production line going here and you're getting a lot of orders come in. That's just an overflow chest in case the storage system doesn't pick up a particular item. I think it will store over 100 items, I think is what Emo said. So yeah, this is really a good system, and I really like it because I'm going to show you what I'm going to implement in my flat world in a minute here. But as you can see, it's been storing quite a few items there. 68 stone, 80 coal, got 20 coal, or just the way I got that set up, it doesn't always. The timing on it doesn't always, the furnace doesn't always convert the items over into the ingots and stuff like that, like it should. But that it doesn't matter. This is just a quick little demonstration, just to get some stuff into the storage system. So a couple copper ore and stuff in there right now, because I've got these set up here, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Now these are relatively straightforward to build. Once you get your production lines set up, they're really not that bad. You've got your netherite ingot here for the controller. That's really the only expensive part about this. And if you've got the element exchange, then you'll be able to get a netherite ingot pretty easily using the element exchange. Or you could use the item exchange and, get a netherite ingot that way as well. Or you can just go to the nether and get ancient debris. You can do that too. And then, so this is the brains of the system. This is what actually stores everything. And from what Emo said, you can store billions of items in this thing. I mean, it's quite extensive what you can store. Like I said, it covers about 100 plus items in the game. So vast improvement over the other storage system that it had. So to put the stuff in, you need the input monitor, and that's this, and that's not too bad. Some emeralds will probably be about the most expensive thing here. You should get plenty of iron, and glass is really simple to get. Just crush down cobblestone into gravel and then crush it again into sand and then make your glass. So this is the import. This is how you get it into your system. And that's what I've got here. See, it just pops out, goes through there, and then just drops right into the system. And if you look at it, you can see the items going up. Now, to get it out of the system, you use the export monitor. And again, that's really very straightforward as well. Just redstone, gold, and another glass block. And this is how you pull it out of the system. Now, how do you use this system? Well, I mean, you can use it in any number of ways, really. That's one thing nice about this is you could use it, you could store everything in here and just have one output monitor that you could, let me go into creative here. Let me grab one of the export monitors here. So you can what you do is you just have your export monitor here. Now these don't have to be powered and they don't have to be next to each other. I think this controller has a 100 block radius, something like that. Some crazy amount. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Let's, what do we got in here that I don't have? Okay, cobblestone. Let's look at cobblestone. So you just grab your item that you want to export, and you just right-click it. That sets the filter, and then on an empty hand, you can set the speed, and then it just pops out of the top. And that's really it. So the problem is you can't, I don't know of any way of being able to turn this off and on. So you either have to break this item or, give it something, set the filter to something that you don't normally have in there. It's like, maybe a block of redstone, for example. You can switch it to a block of redstone now, kind of turns it off because you're not going to be storing blocks of redstone in the controller. There's no redstone block in there, for example. But it will store, you can store redstone blocks in there, whatever you use as the off and on switch. If you want to get iron ingots, then you right click it with an iron ingot, and then it'll start filtering iron ingots, and then you could turn it off. So let's see, one way of doing it would be like this, for example. Let's get a frame here. It'd be nice if this would work with, say, a switch, a redstone switch for, or a redstone signal, but it doesn't really work that way, at least as far as I know. So you're not going to be storing redstone blocks here, right? So put that down, and then let's go back into survival here. So, so you're filtering iron ingots, let's say, and you want to get, half a dozen of them out there. So you set it for iron ingots, and they're coming out, and you get enough that you need. Well, just grab this guy from here and just set it to that, and that effectively turns it off, right? So, so that's one way of doing it. There's probably other ways of doing it. I'm not really sure. Like I said, it'd be nice if we could activate it with the redstone switch. That would be the ideal way of doing it. But this works too. Just, pick an item that it would filter, that it would normally filter. Now, this isn't going to work with items that don't go into the filter. Like I've got this going on my flat world, although it'll be in a future episode. But I'm storing the nether items in there, and like ender pearls don't go in. So you could use an ender pearl, for example. You could not use an ender pearl because it doesn't filter, and you couldn't set this filter to an ender pearl because the system doesn't take them. So it has to be something that the system will take. It's just something that you're not normally going to filter. That's one way of doing it. Now, personally, I like to have a supply of items on hand when I do crafting and stuff like that. I don't want to have to go over here and pull out a bunch of items. I mean, I could do it, but I don't really want to have to do that. I like to sort my items and have them, a supply at least, a supply of craftable items, and I just got a very small selection of stuff here. But I like to always have a good selection, at least a couple, 3 chests worth of craftable materials that I can just go grab and then do my crafting or whatever it is I need to do. So I like to set up these storage systems like this. Now, you could argue, well, you don't need it since you have this. And again, you could set up something like this, and it's not a bad system. That actually works. I just prefer, if I need to get, if I'm making a bunch of stuff and I need iron and gold and copper, a couple diamonds and a bunch of redstone, I just don't want to have to go through here and go through the process of waiting for it all to pop up and changing the filter, so on and so forth. I prefer to have this set up here. So it's just me. It's just what I like to do. But one thing really nice about this system, and boy, oh boy, it's unbelievable how compact this is. This is your whole sorting system right here. I mean, look at that. Now, if you've watched my flat world, you know that I have a sorting system there, and I have the traditional hopper, redstone system, and it goes out to like here, and that's fairly compact for a sorting system. It's Silent Whispers sorting system, uses target blocks, really good system. But I mean, good gracious, look how simple this is. If you've seen that sorting system on my flat world, you know that this is like totally amazing. I mean, you got rid of all of that stuff. It's all gone, and all that you have basically are these outputs that are set to whatever I have here on the front. So the first one's iron, gold, so on and so forth. And as you can see, it's just sorting that stuff out just like a champ. I mean, it's just this is what I think is the real power of this system. Is it simplifies your sorting system so much. And I'm going to actually, on the flat world, I will be converting over to this type of a system, getting rid of the sorting system that I have now and adding this in, because this makes expandability so much easier. I mean, really, to expand this system, all you would need to do is just add another one of these slices, however many chests you want, the hoppers, and add another export monitor to it, with the conveyor belts on top. And there you go. You're done. I mean, look how simple that is. Oh, I'll tell you, it's great. It is super, super good. That's where I really see the benefit of this system. I mean, it stores a tons of items here. I mean, you got all the storage in the world here. But again, I like to have a supply of the stuff that I craft. I like to have it on hand and easily accessible. But it's been a real pain to that sorting system that I'm currently using. It's a little glitchy at times. I get, as you know, if you've watched any of those episodes, I get stuff in my overflow all the time that I really shouldn't be getting there, just because of the nature of the hoppers. The hoppers in Bedrock Edition are a little bit glitchy. They're randomized, whereas in Java they aren't. So yeah, hopefully they'll fix that one day and make the hoppers more like Java hoppers. Java hoppers kind of have a priority in the way it handles items. For example, if you have a cobblestone generator and you have a hopper underneath it, it'll go into the hopper rather than flying out under Bedrock. Even if you and you could get your cobblestone generator under Java. At least it used to be. Now I haven't built a cobblestone generator in Java Edition recently, so I don't know if they've changed that. But it used to be you put a hopper underneath there on a cobblestone generator, say on your skyblock in Java, you'd get 100% return. You'd never lose anything because it would go in the hopper first before it did anything else. Under Bedrock, you can have a hopper underneath there, and it could fly around or go into the hopper. You just don't know because it's a randomized situation. So it's really annoying. And that's kind of the problem with all of these systems that rely on hopper under Bedrock Edition. They're not super reliable. I mean, Silent Whisperer said that, his is 100% reliable, but I've not found that to be the case. At least not using, and it may be something with adding mods to the system, maybe the tick rate and stuff, maybe there's lag in the system. I mean, that's 100% possible. It could just be the fact that I'm on a modded world, and inherently there's going to be a little bit of lag, and it could be the lag that's causing the issues as well. Maybe on a vanilla world, it works 100% of the time. I don't know. But I know on my flat world it doesn't. And I always end up getting stuff, in the overflow. But this system seems to be working perfectly. So, yeah. And, of course, you could put an overflow over here. You could just, you could, well, I mean, you don't really need an overflow because this is only going to pull out stuff that you filtered. So this is only going to pull out emeralds or redstone. Yeah, so this is only going to pull out redstone if there's redstone in the system. So yeah, you don't even need to worry about an overflow on this one because you've set the filter and it's only going to pull out what you've set the filter for. So, oh gosh, really nice system. So on my flat world, I'm going to be converting my storage system that I have over to this system here. That's going to take a little bit of work. I got to rip out what I have now. I've got to change my production line to, actually store the items. But I'll tell you, in the end, it's going to simplify things so much. Yeah, it's such a great add-on. I'm really pumped to do it. I've got it set up now. Just kind of, I was messing around with it, seeing how it worked, and it works really well. Like I said, not everything gets filtered. Like I have my soul sand line generating nether items, but like I said, ender pearls don't go through. I think there's a couple other things. I can't think of what they are right now, but and that for that case, you just set up this sort of system here, right? You just, if it doesn't go into and this will work in a 1 block radius, so which I think is why I'm getting some ores in there rather than the finished item. It may be picking it up before it actually goes into the furnace. But again, this is just a quick demonstration. It's not really that important. I'd separate the two in an actual production line. I'd make sure that this was, down here somewhere. But if it doesn't go in the filter system, it just goes into the hopper and ends up in the chest. But as you can see, everything that the quantum miner is producing is going into the system. So, yeah. But like on my soul sand, I've got a little setup hopper here. And it just, the stuff that doesn't go into the system just ends up in the chest. Very simple overflow system. So, yeah, I highly recommend this add-on that you add it to your worlds for mass storage. Really nice system. This little setup here may work for you perfectly, or if you want to set up kind of a quote-unquote traditional sorting system, boy, it just simplifies it so much. I mean, that's it right there. I mean, really, there's more hoppers here than there is anything else. And that's just because I'm stacking 3 chests on top of each other. If you just had a single chest, then, it'd be basically this top line right here. Now, I've got an extra hopper here, and you probably really don't even need that. I just put it in there to kind of push this back a little bit so it wasn't quite so close to the rest of the stuff. But again, that's not probably even necessary. You can move this up to here, make it even more compact. Yeah, great little add-on. One of the better ones for sure for Bedrock Edition. So anyways, there's some ideas. Oh, and when these all get full, then you can just do the same thing that you're doing over here, right? So let's say I've got three chests full of iron ingots, and so I don't really need any iron ingots right now. Well, again, just use your block that you're using as your on-off, and there you go. You've turned it off. Now, iron ingots won't go into the chest anymore. They'll stay in the system, and as you can see, there's one in the system now. And it'll store up to 1 billion or some crazy amount like that. So, once you get all these chests full, you just turn off your system. You turn off the filter, and you're good to go, So, really simple. Simple, easy to use. Oh, man, I love it. Absolutely love it. So, I'm going to be switching over to this sort of system in my flat world because I do like this system. I like having these items just quickly available when I need them. So I think this is still a good system, and it's even better now with the automatic filtering that we can do with it. So easy to do now. Well, anyways, that's it. Enough of my rambling. Hope you enjoyed this, and definitely check out this add-on. It's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So, okay, I appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.